most influential. James Madison. James Madison, author of the Bill of Rights. That's, we're still talking about the Bill of Rights today. I mean, we're debating Second Amendment rights, First Amendment rights. The Bill of Rights may be the most significant thing written into American law. James Madison is my man. Plus, there's Dolly, and she gave us all those cupcakes and pastries and stuff.
I think the most effective president was Harry Truman. Harry was a plain-spoken guy who made a very, very difficult decision and saved tens of millions of lives by using the atomic weapon at the end of World War II.
I had probably Franklin Roosevelt. When you consider all the things that was on his plate during the course of his tenure, obviously guiding us out of the Great Depression, at the same time dealing with the ravages of World War II, that's a lot for any individual to have on their plate at one time. Add to that the fact that he is credited with starting that initial push to get the federal government to recognize the civil rights, the liberties, the freedoms of individuals who happen to share my skin color. Was he a perfect president? Not by any stretch of the imagination. But when you start talking about those that were probably, my humble opinion only, some of the more effective, Franklin Roosevelt certainly comes to mind.
I'm partial to the forefathers myself. My favorite president would be Thomas Jefferson. Eliminated the federal debt and increased the land mass of the United States of America with the Louisiana Purchase. I'm also a favorite of George Washington, your first president ever, and helped hold the country together in that pivotal time of the start of the country. My generation would definitely be Ronald Reagan. He took down the big red threat. Growing under the threat of nuclear war, Ronald Reagan stopped that.
I think three really. George Washington, because he established the precedents for this country and made the office of president what it could be by establishing those precedents. Abraham Lincoln, clearly Civil War and the whole question of slavery was something that Lincoln was able to deal with. And then I think that Franklin Roosevelt, because of the ability to, literally save the country from an economic collapse and a real questioning at the time of whether or not democracy and capitalism would survive. And finally, Ronald Reagan, because at a time when our nation was in its spiritual depths almost, he arose and brought us back as a people.